Hello everyone and welcome to the Money Man. Now, I've got some really interesting banknotes for you today, and this video is going to get a little bit political, but don't worry, we'll be careful. Now, what I've got for you is some Iranian banknotes from the late 1970s, and if you know a little bit about history, you probably know what's coming. But what I'm going to do is introduce a couple of banknotes, and then I'm going to introduce one more banknote at the end, and I'm going to explain what's happening, because it's quite interesting. You can almost see history in motion in these banknotes, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on that later. So, the first banknote I have for you is a 20 Rial banknote from the mid-1970s. I'm not sure on the exact year because I cannot read the banknote, unfortunately. But you can see that we've got the Shah, the former king of Iran. Now, this is obviously pre-Islamic Revolution Iran. And you can see it's a very beautiful banknote. We've got the old sort of like Mesopotamian sort of iconography in here, harping back to maybe the Sumerian, cultural links, or the old Persian Empire. I'm not sure how far back this iconography goes, but obviously, we've got to remember that some great civilizations have come out of Persia. So if we spin it around and look at the back, you can see we've got a more modern structure on the back. We've just got a dam. But yeah, you can see. So 20 Rials, interesting banknote. Not too much going on apart from, we've got the two languages. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. But it's nice. The colour scheme is pretty cool. It's a nice banknote to have. Now, I'll show you another one. The next one is a 100 Rial, Iranian Rial banknote. And here it is. So you can see the Shah, there he is, looking quite happy, and the watermark is also the Shah's head. And if we spin it around and look at the back, you can see we've got what looks like to be a mosque on the back. So yeah, so you're probably thinking, well, what's so special about these banknotes? Well, obviously, in 1979, the Islamic Revolution happened, and the Shah was overthrown, and the Grand Ayatollah Khomeini basically, returned from exile and swept the Shah out of power, and Iran became an Islamic republic. And at the time, they had to do something about the banknotes. They had to get rid of all the previous banknotes, because they obviously had the Shah on, as you can see right here, and they needed to make their own. But this takes time, and they had a process that they had to implement. So what they did in the meantime is they did this. Now, if you look at this 50 Rial note, you'll see some interesting features. Now, what they've basically done is, under here, you can see it's the old banknote with the Shah on. But what they've done is they've basically just stamped over it to obscure his image. And then over the watermark, they've basically put this this stamp over it as well, which I believe is something to do with I think it says something to do with the Islamic Republic of Iran or something like that. So yeah, they've stamped that right over the watermark, and that's how they continued with the currency straight after the Islamic Revolution, until they could overhaul the designs and introduce a new Islamic Iranian currency. Or an Islamic Republic currency, I should say. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. You can find other examples of other countries that have done this, but I think this is one of the more clearer and obvious examples, where they basically just stamped over his face to try and hide him. But it's not a great job, because you can still see his uniform, and if you turn it up, you can still see his face popping through. So that's what they did. If we spin it around and look at the back, you can see the reverse is obviously not political, so it's pretty much the same. So that's what they did. I do have a couple more banknotes like this from different countries that I might feature in different videos if you guys find this interesting. But I got these from a collector that I managed to strike up a friendship, who is actually a German Iranian man, and he's a very knowledgeable and very interesting gentleman, and he gave me these banknotes at a really good price. Not too difficult to find, but they don't pop up everywhere. So if you do find them on eBay or wherever and they're in UNC, I definitely suggest getting hold of these, because these are, their history as it happened. You can literally see, you know, the before and after, straight after the Islamic Revolution. So really, really interesting banknotes. I love banknotes that tell stories, especially interesting historical stories. So for me, these really tick the boxes. Let me know what you think about these banknotes. Do you have any in your collection? And would you like to see more videos like this in the future? Let me know, because I've got some really, really interesting bits and pieces lying around in my house. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. A really short video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and like my video. I'll see you guys on the next one. It's the Money Man signing out for now. Bye bye.